should you be offended? You would think, oh, well, yeah, we black people, we supposed to support our black folk, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let me explain something to you. You should be offended beyond rapport because of the fact that somebody is willing to put someone in a seat for their color, even when they're not qualified to do a favor for you. Let me explain to you how the last 4 years have went, up 3, coming into this 4. Let me explain something to you. So for the first three years, Kamala has not cared about the black community, okay? Kamala and Biden have been doing everything in their power to support illegal immigrants. They have been coming in this country. They're getting your benefits. They putting their kids, these illegal immigrants are going into your kids' schools. They in the hood. They're taking over. You're no longer relevant. They're taking over, okay? But then on top of that, okay, they're giving them money. They're giving them credit cards. I mean, they're booking them, taking them. You got immigrants coming straight out of Mexico living better than you did, and your ancestors done built this country up. Boom. Let me explain something to you. That's how valuable you are to the Democrat community, okay? But now, boom. Year 4. It's election time. Y'all, we ain't really did nothing for these niggas. I guess we got to do something. Let's call up Kirk Franklin, and he comes to the White House. Kirk Franklin went on that stage with them tight shorts or tight suit and that extra low button top that he wears on stage. And he danced, and he got a check. And that was for you. They paid him to please you. That's how That's how important you are. When Hillary wants to campaign, she don't actually focus on issues in the black community that are needed. She says, oh, I got hot sauce in my bag, boo. Are you pandering to us? Is it working? Oh, y'all forget. Your memory is terrible. Y'all forget. She said, is it working? That's how valuable you are as a vote. That she don't even got to invest to get your vote. She don't even have to work and put the agenda in and start to show proof to get your vote, black woman, black man. You so special to be black. You so special to be black that you don't even get no benefits for it. We'll just put Kirk Franklin in and let him dance for the day. That'll do.
Yeah. They do that because they know black people only care about symbolic victories.
The only one whose narcissistic parent would show up to every single event I was ever involved in. This is one of those weird ones where I always felt like speaking about this behavior negatively could be perceived in the wrong way. Like my parent was just being supportive, and how lucky was I to have a parent who always showed up. Boo-hoo, your parent was there for you. But did you also feel like sometimes it was a bit excessive, especially if it was a bit more of a repetitive thing where maybe I was doing the same thing on multiple days in a row? Like, you do not have to attend every one. And what makes this lean more towards the negative, in my opinion, in terms of behavior, is that if I ever didn't want them to show up to every single showing of something, that was considered to be disrespectful. It was very much that taking me out of school for lunch, sort of picking me up and dropping me off everywhere I went energy, where on the surface it seems very convenient, very thoughtful even, but it's a pattern of controlling behavior, I think, for narcissistic parents.
Could you be, I don't know, less ungrateful? I don't know.
On the ground on Saturday night or Friday night when our parents had decided to go off to the club and and do the things that young people do, even though, you know, parental responsibilities be damned. Grandma was there, and we loved and honored and respected her, so we would listen to her. We would do what she says do, even if her ways of thinking might be a little bit outdated. We give her deference. We would listen to Grandma. We loved her, but Big Mama is not here anymore. And when I say Big Mama, in the black community, the term Big Mama is oftentimes the term that we use to refer to the matriarchal woman in the family. It could be a grandmother. It could be a great aunt. It could be whomever. She was the one that the community respected and loved and honored. She was there. She was a pillar in community. She was stable. She was a woman. She cared about us. We knew she cared about us. We don't get that from these modern day foundational black American women. We don't get that from them. Black men don't have that sort of reverence and love for these modern day women. They just don't. And so after having forsaken us and told the world that we are deadbeat dads and no good and we don't make good husbands, now here y'all come running, trying to convince black men that we're obligated to vote for this quote unquote black woman solely because she's black.
Fortunate and blessed to, during the course of being vice president, have many situations where it becomes clear to me that there are, people of every age and gender, by the way, who see something about being the first that lets them know they don't need to be limited by other people's limited understanding of who can do what.
Yes, that was profound.
Oh, she's running for the vice presidency. I call her Miss Lock Up a Brother, for when she was the AG in California, a Negro knew, a black man knew that he was dead in the water. He was dead in the water. Matter of fact, you don't need a trial. You might well go into jail if you appear before her, because she took pride in locking up black folk. And now all of a sudden she's trying to be sister girl. I'm telling it. Check out her record. She locked us up left and right. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Yes, you did, Kamala, however I should pronounce it. You did. And now we're supposed to forget all that stuff. And she boasted in California that she was one of the first. I got the tape cued, but my time's up to date. One of the first I showed you Thursday night to perform a same-sex marriage. Y'all want to see it? You want to see it? Let it rip.
Let the rings exchanged and the vows declared symbolize your commitment, sincerity, and affection.
Yeah.
And may your love never falter.
May your love never falter.
By virtue of the power and authority vested in me by the state of California, I now declare you spouses for life.
Cut. Now that is who's supposed to deliver us. Now, are you crazy? I like what Maya Angelou said. She said, when the people show you who they are, believe them. That's Kamala. And let me tell you, anybody who's trying to turn America into Sodom and Gomorrah is not good for this nation. She's not good for the state, and she ain't good for black folk. Born male, women born female. We need real people. Ow! Somebody shout something to God. They have their agenda. This is why they're trying to stay home, don't go out, stay home. They're trying to break your mind so that they can get in place and promote open borders, which would flood the country with illegals while they take the rest of the job that black folk used to have. They want to bring in socialism and Marxism, forms of government that teaches that God is not the deliverer and that our rights do not come from God, but that government is God and that we must serve the state. It is Antichrist. That's what's behind, praise the Lord, keeping all this stuff going. You think people are just protesting? Have you ever asked them, why are you protesting? Why are you still doing it? What's wrong now? Oh, they're being paid to do it. They're being paid to do it. George Soros is financing Antifa, and they've given Black Lives Matter millions of dollars, hundreds of millions. Any black businesses seen that money? Any of the black communities seen that money? Any black kids trying to go to college seen any of that money? If you read what they say they're for, they don't mention the black male one time. They're not for the black male, and you can't have a black community without the black male. Preach wooden. They say that they are trained Marxists. They are not for you. They are not for me. This is the spirit of Antichrist, and I will not allow the devil to break my mind. You won't break my spirit, for I heard the Lord say, no weapon.
Actor Leah Delarias
deranged rant.
Joe, you're a reasonable man. You don't want to do this, but here's the reality. This is a war. This is a war now, and we are fighting for our country. And these are going to take it away. They're going to take it away. You, Clarence Uncle Thomas. Joe, you now have the right to take that Trump out. Take him out, Joe. If he was Hitler and this was 1940, you'd take him out. Well, he is Hitler and this is 1940. Take him out. Blow him up. Blow him up or they'll blow us up. Facts.
Facts. Facts are that you are demented, you need help.
To all you ladies who think like that, you know how you treat us when you're in HR, constantly snitching and telling on the black man, putting him through the ringer when he comes to get a job or is working there. You know how you treat us. Why should we treat you that way? When you have these huge corporations giving black women billions of dollars to fund black female-oriented businesses, you don't share that with black men. In fact, when Barack Obama came up with a program called My Brother's Keeper, it was black women who spearheaded shutting that down because it benefited only black men. In name only. I'm sure there was some black women that could be helped by it. When these huge companies like Merrill Lynch and some of these other Wall Street corporations decide to fund black women's businesses, there's nothing in it for black men. You didn't do anything for us, so you have established that not only are you strong, independent, and don't need a man when it comes to relationships, but you're strong, independent, and don't need a man when it comes to finance and politics. But now, here you are. Because you know, unless you get 80% of the black vote, no Democrat is going to be elected nationally. So you need us now. And I want you black men to understand the leverage that you have now. Make them give you something tangible. Make them give you something that you can actually use as designated for black men. On a federal level. Make them make promises. Specifically for you as black men. Let's talk about revising Social Security Code Chapter 4, Title 4, which grants the states a certain percentage of money, matching funds based on what they collect on child support. How about that? Let's talk about undoing Terry versus Ohio. Let's talk about, and that's the case that allows police to run up on you and search you because they have reasonable suspicion, even though you haven't even been suspected. There's no probable cause to think you committed a crime. But they use it as a reason to stop and search and frisk black men. Let's talk about some things like that. Let's talk about the homeless issue, of which there are so many black men who are homeless. Let's talk about job training. Do for black men the same thing you're doing for these Venezuelan immigrants who are coming up to the United States through the southern border. Put them up in a house for a year and a half, 2 years, or an apartment. Give them a monthly stipend. Help them find jobs. Have job fairs specifically for black men, just like you have job fairs specifically for these immigrants who are coming up here illegally.
Just remember, these people vote and breed.
I mean, in his official capacity as president, maybe he could just disband the Supreme Court or unalive Donald Trump. I mean, he'd have complete immunity. He's president, right? That would certainly solve a lot of our